Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Andrea and I have been selling on Etsy for 8 years. I have an embroidery business on Etsy, and this YouTube channel is just where I share about running my Etsy shop, best practices, all those sorts of things. It's just me sharing my Etsy journey with you guys. So if that is what you are interested in, make sure to subscribe and you are in the right place. Today specifically, we are going to be talking about something kind of fun. I'm going to bring you guys along to prep for busy season with me. Okay, so if everything goes to plan, this video should post on Black Friday, which is a very fitting day for me to talk to you guys about my busy season, because that is basically it's not the start, we're already in busy season. Obviously I'm recording it before it's posted, but it's like that's whenever everything really ramps up. And so I just wanted to walk you guys through a really, I guess, tangible video of exactly how we prep for busy season for my embroidery shop this year. So a little bit of background: I have been selling on Etsy for 8 years. This will be my 8th busy season as an embroidery seller. My first season was not embroidery, so this is my 8th year. I'm going into my 9th busy season, but my first one was not embroidery. So little background information. At this point in the game, I know pretty much exactly whenever my busy season is going to be. Even though I definitely got thrown for a curve this year in early October, you can watch that happen via a vlog, which I'll link. But I definitely got thrown for a curve in early October. For the most part, I can bank on my busy season being almost the exact same within a couple weeks, not even a couple weeks, honestly within like a week every single year. And so there are just a few things that I have to do basically every year to just kind of prep. I'm pretty good at knowing what we need to do in order to get our shop and our online presence, our physical space, everything ready. So that is just what I'm going to be walking you guys through what we're doing this year. Obviously it changes a little bit from year to year, which I'll talk about, but for the most part, I know what we need and I know when we need it by, for the most part. And so this video is just gonna be me walking you through some steps that I took in order to be ready for busy season this year. Okay, so the very first thing on my to-do list is very embroidery specific, and we actually already did it, but I'm gonna just kind of explain it a little bit. So the very first thing we needed to do was buy more embroidery hoops. Embroidery hoops are just, here, I can go get one. This is an embroidery hoop. It's absolutely critical for sewing. You cannot embroider anything on our small machines without them. They kind of have a lifespan. As you can see, they're plastic, and this piece has to fit inside that piece like perfectly. Otherwise, it just makes it really, really hard to hoop stuff. And so whenever you use them over and over and over again, they only last you about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. And so, like I mentioned earlier, we got totally thrown off in early October. We had done no prep for busy season. We had like 55 items to make in one day, which is doable, but you need to be ready for it. And like at that time period, so I have 5 small machines and I usually like to have at least 15 hoops to keep like 3 items on for each machine at any time. And so what happened is that we only had like 8 or 9, and some of them were going bust, and it was just, I basically couldn't stay ahead that whole day because it was just really stressful. And so that night I was like, we are ordering more hoops. They're not even expensive. Like I ordered 7 more and I think my total was like $120. Like they're not very expensive, absolutely worth it, but we definitely needed more embroidery hoops. And so we got those in and we are sewing with them now, and that's very, 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 very helpful because we can get more in the pipeline at one time. And so that's super helpful. So number 1 was buy more embroidery hoops, and I already did it and I'm so, so thankful. Number 2 is also super embroidery specific, and I already did it, and I swear this might be the best $12 I've ever spent in my Etsy shop. That's probably not true. But it was money well spent. So I've mentioned this on this channel before. We sell these nursing jackets. They're just little like fleece zip up jackets with an RN symbol and the nurse's name that you can order, and they have been extremely popular this year, like so popular. And if you're familiar with embroidery, you know that there's like, you have to clip threads in between designs. Basically, this is getting really into the weeds, but we had an RN design that was just, it's called like your jump cuts. Basically, like we had to clip so many threads in order to get an item out, like to get the jacket out to our customers, and that was getting so annoying. And so I work with this, I mean, he probably doesn't know me. He has like hundreds of thousands of sales, but he is a great digitizer, which basically means that like you have to get embroidery like files made for a machine to be able to read them, and that's called digitizing. He's an awesome digitizer on Etsy for the embroiderers. I will link his shop below because I absolutely love working with him. I just contacted him and asked him, hey, can you please re-digitize this design that I already have and optimize the cuts so we don't have to make so many cuts? And he did, and it's awesome, and I love it, and it has really streamlined that whole process of getting those nursing jackets out the door, which is awesome because they are a good chunk of our orders this year, and so that has been super helpful. So getting one of our designs re-digitized, like I said, extremely embroidery specific. The next ones really aren't as embroidery specific, but it has been really awesome. So I guess I just say that to let you guys know if there's something that is making your workflow harder, pick up on it and do whatever you can to change it, because it has made a massive difference. Both me and my mom are like, why didn't we do this sooner? It is literally awesome to have that design re-digitized to not have to cut so many darn threads. Moving on to less embroidery specific stuff, our space is more or less completely prepped. We did a lot of prep last year to our actual physical space. We added some tables. I think I made a video about that and talked about it. I don't want to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, we added tables and some other stuff. But basically, our physical space is more or less completely set. I'm sure stuff will come up, but as far as like big changes, none really need to be made. But there are just some other things that we need to do. So one thing that we actually worked on this morning, and you'll see a vlog of it soon, I think, depending on when I post it. We really needed to, and we are working on looking at inventory numbers. So this is really important because obviously we need to make sure we know how much we have. Some of our most popular products that we actually stock in our storage room, we just need to make sure that we have enough of and that we are not overselling because this is now the 6th year that we've sold our Sherpa, and where we get them from is starting to sell out of them as well. And so we just need to make sure that we have all of that kind of squared away. And so looking at inventory numbers is really important during this time of the year, just to make sure, as like, I don't want to be dealing with that in the middle of December. So we're just gonna try and get ahead of it and do it now. The reason why we have to rely on our own counts for this is that, you know, if you have followed me on this channel, that I am a huge fan of duplicating listings. And so when you duplicate listings, it makes it really hard to, like, Etsy can't track it for you because someone could buy the same jacket from 3 different listings and it's not going to pull the numbers out of each one, if that makes sense. So we have to kind of rely on our own counts, which works honestly super fine for like 99% of the items in our shop. But when it comes down to some of those that we have to stock, we have to watch it really carefully. So that is why that is so important. The last thing that we are doing, I thought maybe there was one more, but I'm thinking there's only 4. Maybe it'll come to me. The last thing that we are doing is listing new items. So we're actually kind of late on this, but we have some new product ideas that we really like. I will, I guess I could tell you guys about them. So we're gonna do this new crew neck. I'll put a picture of it up with just like a really simple monogram in the middle. Then we're also gonna do one off to the side, and then we're gonna do some personalized mama sweatshirts that I'm really excited. One that says like, whatever your kid's name is, mom. So like our example says like Luca's mom, and then we're gonna do like twin mama, all those sorts of things. We have some goals for what I really like. I guess I have some goals for what I want my product lineup to look like next year, which I think I'm going to want to do a full video on this channel just about my goals for my Etsy shop moving forward, because we are gonna be making some changes. And so that being said, we're trying to sort of get those listings that I'm wanting to do more of into the Etsy search ranking before busy season, because why not? And so we're a little bit late on this. Really, we should have done this earlier in the year, but we did not get it done. And so we're working on it now. But yeah, we have a few more items that we really want to list before busy season starts. Thankfully, this past year, I worked on hiring someone to help me with listing items, and that has been a huge game changer. She just works whenever I need her to list items, and she's worked remotely, and it's awesome. So that is one huge help with busy season and listing all of the items. So that is what we had to do. That is what we are working on as we prep for busy season. I'm getting so excited because it's just, honestly, busy season is just so fun. It's so lively. I'll definitely be bringing you guys along for the journey and just showing you guys how hectic it can be. We do a good chunk of our revenue in the last 2 months of the year. So that is super fun, and we are gearing up for it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously, we're stocking up supplies. We're just getting ready for this space and this online space and just our lives to have a lot going on throughout November and December. So it's gonna be really fun, and I can't wait to bring you guys along. If you are looking to grow on Etsy, make sure to subscribe. We post, or I try to post, 2 videos every single week all about growing on Etsy, life as an Etsy seller, all those sorts of things. So make sure to join me here, and thank you so much for watching.